Does the severity of the affair make a difference? And I'll say yes and no. So to start with the no answer, it's still a binary break of trust. Whether it is like this ginormous, years long, three different families, lying on vacations, lying on different trips, multiple phones, like elaborate web of lies, or it's a one night stand. Both of those are a break of trust. It's a break of a commitment that you made on your wedding day. And for a lot of people, their standard is if someone breaks that commitment, the relationship's done and I'm out. And that's a very fair and valid standard to have. Like, it's very reasonable to expect that base level of commitment and loyalty from your partner. So from just kind of that binary black and white perspective, no, like it really doesn't make a difference how severe, quote unquote, the affair was. However, where it does make a difference, where the answer is yes, the severity does make a difference, is if you are trying to save the relationship. Because if you're trying to make it work, like it's a very valid concern because that's data that informs how you can think about this person. If they're someone that is capable of getting to the point in their life where they have three different phones, three different families, they're lying, they're gone, they're mysterious, they're not showing up, they're not providing in the way that they promised to, then yeah, it's very, very bleak odds that you could ever expect that person to change for you. But if it's a one night stand and they were drunk, they just realized they just got the worst news of their life and they make a horrible mistake, they're immediately repentant, they are willing to do whatever it takes to rebuild your trust. That's a huge difference. And so the main practical payoff is mainly, again, for people that are wanting to make it work. And you just need to decide for yourself whether you feel like the affair was indicative of who they really are or whether it was an exception to who they really are. That is the big difference. And then it's also interesting because sometimes I've heard stories where you really kind of sympathize more with the person who cheated than the person that was cheated on. And let me explain that. Because sometimes it's most often this way, where the husband has been emotionally distant, verbally abusive, like just kind of an awful husband. I won't go into tons of detail, but just an awful husband for years and years and years. And then the wife cheats one time and is immediately repentant and sorry and trying to fix things. Oftentimes with those types of contexts, like frankly, the person that was betrayed needs to do a little bit more self-reflection on like, oh yeah, I've been completely gone. Like of course they went to someone else for intimacy when I've just been completely absent. Again, that doesn't justify it, but it's just all of these different factors to consider about the severity of the affair. Because one way you can think of it is if the severity of the affair, there's a range. Let's say it's kind of here, it's lower on it. And then you look at the context before the marriage also, like that's a whole other fact. Like how good was the marriage and how bad was the affair? If the marriage was really bad and the affair was minimal, then I feel like that's a more salvageable thing if you both dig in and are willing to do the work because you realize there's a lot of shared mistakes on both sides. But if the marriage was really good, then I could also understand why someone would be like, hey, even a smaller thing like an emotional affair for 2 days, like why would you even do that? Like what is going on? So a lot to think about. Hopefully that gives you a couple of tools to begin processing it all.